is Friday, February the 28th, and this is my daily thought. I'm telling you, I did not get as much sleep as I would have liked. My mind has been constantly going since the eclipse, full moon, whatever, in Sagittarius. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. What I do know is that I needed to slow down. But before I go any further, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform works best for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Now that I've got that out the way, I'm in a more calm state, or I guess I'm moving at a slower speed. Because something said to me, it's like, okay, you need to bring it down. Because I've been at a 10, trying to get all this stuff done. It takes a lot to get everything done. Plus, I work a regular job too and whatnot. And there's nothing wrong with that. There are people out there who work a regular job and then they have something that they may do on the side, or several things they may do on the side, or people who work two jobs and do stuff on the side. So that wasn't a woe is me type comment. It was just, there's a lot of stuff to do. I decided to go back to list. I didn't use list before. I didn't. Because every time I would use list, I would put a bunch of things on there that I was looking to accomplish. And I would get through most of them, but I didn't get through all of them. And then I would attempt to carry it over to the next day. And sometimes I get it done, sometimes I wouldn't, sometimes I carry it over, sometimes I wouldn't. And it still feels like when you throw so much stuff on there, you're still all over the place. And that's something that I've been attempting to sidestep, if I can speak. Mercury's in, retrograde. So yeah, starts on the 29th. Communication issues. So I have to be extra focused when I speak. But anyways, so I've attempted to sidestep having a whole bunch of stuff because it's just had me at a 10. Now I'm doing the list again. What I do is I write down one or two things and stop. I don't write anything else. I write one or two things and then I stop. And then I focus on the things on that list. I don't add anything else outside of what I do regularly throughout the day. I mean, I don't put that type of stuff on the list. But the things where I want to get things done, like so far, earlier on my list today, as you can see, those who are watching, those who are listening, this morning I had to call Amex because I needed to get some stuff sorted out with them. For those who don't know, Amex, American Express, people call it Amex for short. I'm sure some of you may already know that, but for those who don't now, you do. So I had to call Amex this morning to get something straightened out because I didn't understand something. And the girl, her name was Carolina. She was really helpful. And then I had to make sure I upload to Instagram, because one thing that I've been doing is I've been uploading the podcast episodes, but to Instagram, I usually attempt to upload in the morning, but I specifically wrote it down just to make sure I did it in the morning instead of waiting until the afternoon to upload the Instagram pictures as related to yesterday's podcast or cast episodes. So did that. Then I had to do a transfer. Then I had to email Wajid, which I briefly spoke with him by email. If you haven't listened to that interview, check that interview out. It is already uploaded to the podcast with Wajid Hassan. And like I said, that interview, that Conversations with KC segment, it was amazing. And I'm doing another one this weekend, knock on wood. Because, you know, it's one of those things where once it's recorded and uploaded, then we can say it counts. But so far, it's tentatively booked for the weekend to do, which is, I forgot the gentleman's name. I want to say Terry. He deals with fitness. He deals with motivation and all types of things. So we're supposed to circle up this weekend and have a conversation. And obviously, anything that he wants to talk about, he's more than welcome to talk about, except politics. As you know, this is a no politics podcast. All right. Then I had to call the bank to get some information about something. Then I had to reply to another interview request for someone else that was interested in coming on to the podcast to do a Conversations with KC segment. And then I had to shred papers. That was another thing too. I had a pile of papers by my shredder that it just kept building up, kept building up, kept building up. And I'm just like, okay, these papers really need to be shredded. And it's been on my mind, but I always get sidetracked doing so many other things. You know how when you walk around your home or your apartment, you're doing one thing, but then something else catches your eye. And it's like, oh, well, let me just do a little bit of a touch on that right quick. And then after you've done that, something else catches your eye and it's like, oh, and then maybe the phone rings or you get an email or you have to do this or you have to do that. And then you get sidetracked. And sometimes when you're just doing a touch up on something, you're not finishing the project. So it's like you're just doing a little 5% touch up instead of completing 100% of the project. And that's why I had to do the list, because it's like, okay, we're going to make sure that we get to 100% before, and by we, I mean myself, before I move on to anything else. That is what I've done. And I had seen something where I was looking to clean up one of my shelves, but I had looked at my list and I was like, oh, I have to do this. So I'm not touching the shelves or that particular shelf until I finish what's on my list, this one thing on my list. And after I finish this one thing on my list, then I will add the next thing, clean off, and be specific, the shelf that I'm looking to clean off, and do that. And then I will not go to anything else outside of my daily routine stuff until I finish that next thing, until I finish the shelf once it's officially on the list. So it's helped me slow down. It's helped me calm my mind, at least during the daytime. At nighttime, it's anyone's guess. These past few nights, it's taken me longer to fall asleep, which usually I'm preparing for bed like 9 something, and I'm usually asleep within about 20 minutes, give or take. Lately, it's been taking like an hour and some change for me to fall asleep. So, and then of course I sleep in sections, so then I'll wake up for a little bit, then go back to sleep for a little bit, then wake up for a little bit, and then that whole spiel. So yeah. But I thought I would talk about this list because I'm like, hey, let me tell some other people about this because maybe it can help them too. So if you aren't into list, you may want to consider it. If you are into list, you may want to filter it down and do stuff little by little, the things that are outside of your daily routine. Obviously, you don't have to put, I was talking about toothpaste yesterday, so I'll say you don't have to put brush your teeth on the list. You don't have to do that. You don't have to put fix breakfast on the list. The things within your daily routine, you don't have to put those things on there. But for little side projects that you want to get done, things that are outside of the daily routine. Just add them 1 or 2 at a time to the list and don't do anything else outside of your daily routine until you complete those 1 or 2 things. And it will take a lot of pressure off of you and help you come down a little bit, because you don't feel like, if you're looking at a list with 25 things on them, it's like, oh my goodness, I have to get 25 things done within the next day or 2. Instead, it's more of, let me just put 1 or 2 things on this list and start there. Because right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there were 8 things, well, technically 9. 9 things on this list now, as I added them little by little after I completed the task. Or task. It's hard to put that S on there. Task. No. I can't do it. Okay. I'm not going to say can't. It'll take some practice. Almost like rolling your R's in Spanish. It's like, so yeah, arroyo. So yeah, back to this. But I didn't just throw all 8 on here at once, or all 9 on here at once. I did it little by little. So this is just, my daily thought, telling you, you might want to give this a try. If it's working for me, it might work for you too. Throwing that out there. Okay, so the 9th thing on the list is finish the love readings. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 more love readings to do. So I have Leo, Pisces, Capricorn, Aries, Scorpio, and Virgo for the love readings. I also have to do the general readings as well. I don't know how the general readings will work for June. Obviously, they might come out a little late in June. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I may not do a mid-month energy reading for June, depending on how late the general readings come out. So I'll have to wait and see. I'll do my best, obviously, to get them out as soon as I can. There are other things clearly going on, and I need to make sure I'm handling that too. I'm working on, maybe I need to turn on the air conditioner. I'm working on another project. I had an idea and I was like, you know what? Maybe I should give that a try. And then there's still this other project that needs to be done. However, I'm still going to go by this new list thing that I'm doing. So whichever order I decide to put what in, I will use my list to help keep things on the tracks, is what I'm looking to do, because I don't want the train to go off the tracks. So that's where we're at. And what else? Is there anything else? I'll reach out to more people in regards to the conversations with KC. I still plan to do the quick 3 tarot and the lucky numbers. Usually I do them Tuesday through Friday, I believe. Yeah, Tuesday through Friday or Tuesday through Saturday is when I usually do the quick 3 tarot and the lucky numbers. So I might do them this weekend. Depends on what's going on and what's happening. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Because I feel like as soon as I stop recording, then it's going to come to me. It's like, oh yeah, I should have told them that. Yeah, I think that's it for now. If anything else comes up, I'll be sure to let everyone know. Thank you again to everyone who's been supporting the podcast and listening to the episodes. Oh, see, almost forgot something. I will do a movie recommendation episode. There is a movie I want to recommend, but I have to finish watching the movie. I still have like almost an hour left. I watched 40 minutes of it, and it's a foreign movie. I think it's either Chinese. I'm pretty sure it's Chinese. So yeah, interesting movie. And I was like, I like this movie, but due to time constraints at the time when I was watching it, I was like, okay, I have to go to bed. And then I haven't started back watching the movie yet. But I have a feeling I will enjoy the ending. I just have a feeling because I've enjoyed everything else thus far with the movie. So it will more than likely be a movie recommendation. And my goal would be to do that this weekend is what it would be. So I want to do a movie recommendation. Also, I want to do a tech news episode because I talk about news from time to time. And the only tech news I've really done was mostly with Microsoft, Xbox, and PS5. But I had seen something in regards to tech not too long ago, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. So tech news, I want to do a tech news episode, and I'm going to dig up maybe an article or two and just relay the information as I always do. All right, that's all I have. I'm going to get going now. Thank you again for your support. Until next time, be blessed.